Hello everyone and welcome back to a new English lesson. Our lesson today is 8C Grammar Part 1. Today we have two objectives. 1. Recognize the form and functions of the zero conditional in context. 2. Use the zero conditional in different sentences correctly. Now, could you please open the student book and turn to page 105. Let's move to activity 3. Grammar. Zero conditional. Exercise A. Read the examples. When do we use the zero conditional? Match the sentences 1 and 2 with the rules A and B. Let's start with the sentences. 1. If you win 3 games in this sport, you are the winner. 2. If you heat water, it starts to boil at 100 degrees Celsius. Now let's check the rules. A. To refer to general truths. Example, scientific facts. B. To make statements about the real world. Now, before we match it, can you guess what is the game in sentence number 1? That's correct. It can be tennis. Now, who can tell me? Sentence number 1, is it a scientific fact or it's a statement about something in the real world? That's correct. It is a statement about the real world. Now, how about sentence number 2? If you heat water, it starts to boil. And this is more about science as a scientific experiment or a scientific fact. So, sentence number 2 is referring to general truths or a scientific fact. That's correct. Well done, everyone. You can check the grammar reference page 118 about the zero conditional. We use the zero conditional for 1. To talk about general truths. Example, scientific facts. For example, if you heat ice, it melts. And this happens all the time because this is a general truth or a scientific fact. Number 2. To talk about facts and to make statements about the real world. In contrast to hypothetical situations, which means things that happens in reality, not an imagination. For example, if you press the button, the door opens, and this is what happens in real life. Let's move to exercise B. Read the examples again and complete the rule about the formation of the zero conditional. Now we have the same sentences from exercise A. And we have the rule, if plus a tense and the other part of the sentence present simple. Now we need to conclude what is the tense in the if conditional part of the sentence. Let's check sentence number 1 and sentence number 2. If you win and if you heat. What is the tense here, guys? That's correct. It is present simple. So let's conclude this rule. The zero conditional sentence consists of 2 parts, if clause and main clause. If clause or the condition and main clause or the result. And both parts are in the present simple. Let's try to find some examples in the reading text. The Wimbledon Championships. Now let's take this paragraph for example. Who wins, which is the last paragraph. Can you find any zero conditional sentence here? Well done. If you win 6 games, you win a set. Is there any other examples here? That's correct. If you win 2 sets out of 3, then you win the match. Well done. Because the zero conditional sentences deal with the present simple, you can check the grammar reference on page 66 in the first term student book and revise the formation of the present simple. We need to pay attention to this important tip. We usually use a comma to separate the if clause from the main clause only if the if clause is at the beginning of the sentence, whereas we don't use a comma if the if clause is at the end of the sentence. Let's check these two examples. In the first one, the if clause is at the beginning. That's why we used a comma. Whereas in the second one, we did not use a comma because the if clause came at the end. Let's move to exercise C. Match the two halves to make sentences. On the left side, we have the if clause for 5 sentences. And on the right side, we have the main clause of the same 5 sentences. And we have to match it correctly. Let's start with number 1. If you heat ice. And the correct answer is C. It melts. Now, let's read the rest of the sentences. 2. If you score 12 points. 3. If you mix blue and yellow. 4. If you don't drink water. 5. If you win the match. And on the right side, we have A. You get the trophy. B. You get green. And D. You win the game. And finally E. You get thirsty. Now, pause the video, complete the task, then come back and check your answers. Go ahead. Welcome back. Now, let's continue with number 2. What is the correct answer? That's correct. It's D. If you score 12 points, you win the game. That's correct. Number 3. If you mix blue and yellow, what is the correct answer? Well done. It is B. You get green. How about number 4? If you don't drink water, what will happen? That's correct. It's E. You get thirsty. How about the last sentence, number 5? If you win the match, that's correct. It's A. You get the trophy. Well done, everyone. Let's do some more practice. Go to the roundup on page 110. Exercise E. Complete the sentences with the correct form of the verbs in brackets to form the zero conditional. Now, you have to pay attention to the highlighted subjects that will help you to decide the correct form of the verb, which is in the present simple. Now, let's start with sentence number 1. If you not eat food, you get hungry. And the correct answer here is don't eat. Now, you can pause the video, complete the task, then come back and check your answers. Go ahead. Welcome back. Let's continue with number 2. If you win a competition, you get a prize. What is the correct answer here? That's correct. You get. We add the verb get without any modification. Now, number 3. If you leave the tab on when you are brushing your teeth, you waste water. What is the correct form here? That's correct. You waste. We add waste without any modification. How about number 4? If you score the final point, you win the game. What is the correct form of the verb here? That's correct. Perfect. It is score. We added the verb without any modification. How about number 5? If you mix red and yellow, you get orange. What is the correct form of the verb here? That's correct. Mix. So we added the verb without any modification. The subject is you. How about the last sentence, number 6? If ice melts, it become water. What is the correct form here of the verb? That's correct. It becomes. We added s to the verb because the subject is a third person singular, and this is the present tense. Well done, everyone. Perfect. Let's do more practice. Complete the sentences with the zero conditional. In this exercise, pause the video and bring your copybook or a piece of paper and copy these sentences and complete the task. Then come back and check your answers. Go ahead. We'll come back. Let's start with the first sentence. Number 1. If you finish the race first, you be the winner. What is the correct answer here? That's correct. You are. It is in the present simple tense and the subject is you. That's why we used are. Well done. How about number 2? The computer turns on if you push this button. What is the correct form of the verb here? Well done. That's correct. We use the verb push without any modification. It is in the present simple tense and the subject is you. How about number 3? If you water the flowers, they grow faster. Now, what is the correct form of the verb water? And pay attention. This is not a noun. This is a verb. Go ahead. That's correct. We use the verb water without any modification. It is in the present simple tense and the subject is you. How about number 4? If ice melts, it become water. What is the correct form of the verb here? That's correct. Becomes. We added s to the verb become because the subject is a third person singular. That's correct. How about number 5? You get hungry if you not eat. What is the correct answer here? That's correct. It is don't eat. This is the negative form of the present simple tense and the subject is you. Well done, everyone. This is the end of our lesson. Thank you for watching. See you next time.